All right, you degenerates, buckle up, because today we're diving headfirst into some seriously shady shit.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
talking about DARPA, the government agency that's basically a real-life mad scientist lab, and their quest to hijack the goddamn airwaves with this thing called the XG program.
It's like they took all the conspiracy theories about government surveillance and decided to turn them into reality.
Damn straight. So for anyone who somehow missed the memo, DARPA is like the Pentagon's tech wizard division, constantly brewing up mind-blowing new toys for the military. I mean, these are the same whack jobs who gave us the internet, GPS, and stealth technology.
They've had a hand in some game-changing innovations, that's for sure.
But let's not forget, this is the same crew who thought weaponized dolphins and mind control lasers were good ideas.
Right, their track record is a mixed bag, to put it mildly. But that's what makes them so fascinating. They're not afraid to push the boundaries, even if it means going down some pretty fucked up rabbit holes.
And that brings us to XG, which is for next generation. But what the hell does it actually mean?
Officially, it's all about developing dynamic spectrum access.
Sounds about as exciting as watching paint dry, right?
But trust me, this is where things get interesting.
So break it down for us. What the hell is dynamic spectrum access, and why should we give a shit?
Okay, imagine the radio frequency spectrum as a massive highway. It's the invisible road that carries all our wireless communications, your phone calls, your Wi-Fi, your GPS, everything. And just like any highway, it can get congested as hell, especially with military, civilian, and commercial traffic all fighting for space.
So basically, rush hour in LA, but for radio waves.
Exactly. Now, dynamic spectrum access, or DSA, is like designing a smart traffic management system for this highway. It's about allowing devices to share frequencies efficiently, avoiding congestion, and making sure everyone can connect without crashing into each other.
Okay, starting to see how this could be a big deal. So where does DARPA fit into all this? What are they trying to do with XG?
They're essentially trying to create technology that can sniff out unused frequencies and hop between them on the fly, like a radio wave ninja. Picture a military radio that can seamlessly switch channels, dodging interference, and staying connected even in the most crowded environments.
Sounds pretty slick. But with military tech poking around for free bandwidth, is there a chance things could get messy?
That's the million-dollar question DARPA claims XG is all about: do no harm. They say these frequency-hopping radios are designed to avoid interfering with existing communications. But when you've got the military involved, it's hard not to be skeptical.
Yeah, do no harm sounds great on paper, but we've all seen how those good intentions can go sideways when it comes to military tech. I mean, remember those weaponized dolphins? They probably thought that was harmless too until flippers started taking out submarines.
Right. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, especially in the world of military research.
Yeah.
But to be fair, DARPA does emphasize the add value principle alongside do no harm. They argue that XG tech needs to offer some serious benefits to justify the cost and effort involved.
So what kind of value are we talking about, besides, potentially turning the internet into a military-controlled hellscape?
Well, one of their flagship projects within XG is called One Shot.
Oh, this sounds ominous. Hit me with it.
It's a system designed to make snipers even more deadly. Imagine technology that can calculate wind speed, bullet trajectory, even the tiny vibrations of the weapon itself, all to help those sharpshooters hit their targets with pinpoint accuracy.
See, this is what I'm talking about DARPA. Always pushing the boundaries of efficiency, even if it means making killing a little bit easier.
It definitely raises some ethical questions, but that's the thing with DARPA. They're not afraid to push the envelope, even if it means venturing into morally gray areas. And with XG, they're definitely operating in the shadows. Who knows what other projects are lurking within this program?
For all we know, they could be developing a way to control our minds with radio waves.
Well, let's not jump to conclusions just yet, but it's definitely worth exploring the potential downsides of XG alongside the potential benefits.
Right, because once this tech is out in the wild, there's no putting the genie back in the bottle.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to dig into next.
All right, folks, we're going to grab another beer. When we get back, we'll be diving deeper into the potential implications of XG and what it means for the future of wireless technology. Stay tuned. So we left off talking about how XG could turn into a total shit show.
Yeah, it's not looking good, is it?
I mean, think about it. This tech falls into the wrong hands and it's game over. We're talking jamming communications, spying on everyone, even fucking with power grids. It's straight out of a dystopian nightmare.
You're not wrong. I mean, the potential for abuse is definitely there. We're talking about a level of control over the airwaves that's pretty damn scary.
Exactly. And let's be real, DARPA isn't exactly known for being transparent or accountable.
True. They tend to operate in the shadows.
Okay, so we've established that XG is potentially fucked up on like 100 different levels. But what about the good stuff? The whole efficiency and innovation spiel that DARPA keeps pushing, is there any chance this tech could actually make our lives better?
Well, in theory, dynamic spectrum access could lead to faster internet speeds, more reliable connections, and even some cool new technologies.
Like what? Give me something I can actually get excited about.
Imagine 5G everywhere, even in the middle of nowhere. No more buffering videos or dropped calls.
Okay, that's kind of tempting. But I still don't trust these government goons.
And you shouldn't. It's healthy to be skeptical. But let's play devil's advocate for a second. Imagine a world where everything is connected. Your fridge, your car, your toaster, all talking to each other seamlessly. That's the kind of potential we're talking about here.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. But are we really willing to give up our privacy and hand over control of the internet to the military just for faster internet and a smart coaster?
That's the question, isn't it? It's a trade-off and a pretty damn big one. And that's not even considering the fact that we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg here.
What do you mean?
We know about one shot, but who knows what else DARPA is cooking up in their secret labs. They could have all sorts of crazy shit hidden away that we don't even know about.
Like what? Mind control rays, anal probes, alien technology.
Okay, let's not get too carried away, but you get the point. We need to be asking questions. We need to demand transparency. And we need to make sure that this technology is used responsibly, not just for whatever nefarious purposes DARPA might have in mind.
All right, so bottom line, what can we do about this? How do we stop these bastards from turning us into mindless drones?
It starts with awareness. The more people know about what's going on, the more pressure we can put on DARPA to operate ethically. And who knows, maybe we can even influence how this technology is developed and used.
Right. Knowledge is power, folks. The more you know, the better equipped you are to fight back against this bullshit. So spread the word, tell your friends and family, and let's make sure DARPA doesn't get away with turning us all into radio-controlled zombies. So we've spent the last hour talking about this XG thing, and I gotta say, the more we dig into it, the creepier it gets.
Yeah.
It's like DARPA is trying to turn the goddamn internet into some kind of military weapon.
It's definitely a cause for concern. I mean,
Right.
the potential for abuse is huge.
No shit. We're talking about giving the military unprecedented control over the airwaves. Think about what they could do with that.
Jamming communications.
Spying on citizens. Disrupting critical infrastructure. It's a recipe for disaster.
It's important to remember that technology itself isn't inherently good or evil. It's all about how it's used.
Yeah, but let's be real. When has the military ever been known for using its power responsibly?
That's a fair point. But I do think it's important to have some nuance in this conversation. We can acknowledge the potential risks without completely dismissing the potential benefits.
Okay, fine. But even if there are some benefits, are they really worth the risk?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's not one with an easy answer.
Look, I'm all for innovation, but not when it comes at the expense of our freedom and privacy.
I agree. We need to be having a serious public conversation about the ethical implications of this technology.
Absolutely. We can't let DARPA just run wild with this shit. We need to demand transparency and accountability.
Right. And we need to make sure that any development or deployment of XG technology is done with careful consideration for the potential consequences.
So what can we do about this?
Yeah.
What can our listeners do to make sure we don't end up living in some Orwellian nightmare?
First and foremost, educate yourselves. Learn as much as you can about XG and the potential implications. Then talk to your friends and family. Spread the word and make sure this issue is on people's radar.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to make some noise. Contact your elected officials. Raise hell on social media.
Right.
Let's make sure DARPA knows that we're watching them.
Exactly. We need to hold them accountable and make sure they're not abusing this technology.
All right, folks, that's the bottom line. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and stay pissed off. We can't let DARPA fuck this up for all of us. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep fighting the good fight. Peace out.